everyone, I wanted to take a moment and just share with you a pretty common question we've been getting here recently in regard to how to write within the Salesforce source component using SOQL, how to write your variable to contain multiple values. So if your variable contains multiple values and you want to use that in a where clause, how you would do that. Right now, here's a common issue that we're seeing. I'll go ahead and provide that as an example. As you can see below here, I have a variable created. I have two unique identifiers, or account IDs really, from Salesforce shown here. I have written my variable out to contain those two values. I'll drag, let's say I will create, edit Salesforce query has to be selected. We'll go where ID, it's the value, in, and then I will drag over the variable value, click preview, and we see this sort of error message pop up. And we're like, okay, well maybe I've got to add parentheses around it. And you try to add parentheses, and sure enough, you still see the error message occur. So you're thinking, interesting. Why is this kind of occurring for us? Well, let's look a little bit closer. If we look at this error message, we see that there's actually three ticks, three quote marks around the value, the outer values. What you're seeing is, based on the way this query is written, the values in the variable field are appending themselves, those quotes are appending themselves to that value. So when it's evaluating, it's actually, yes, it's pulling back the value, but it's also adding those single quotes to it. So here's how we resolve this. Let's go ahead and remove this query. We'll just leave it as is. We can add it. What we have to do is we have to add the variable in, but we're going to have to modify this variable slightly. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the single quotes. We're removing the single quotes because, one, we already have the single quotes defined here within the variable value itself. Then within this angled bracket, we'll select comma, false. So by typing in false, what we're doing is we're telling it to remove those additional quotes so that we're only presented with the single ticks or single hashes around the actual variable values, the values themselves. To end this, we stick it in parentheses. Oops. Get that right. Okay. So this is the complete variable. This is how it should be written. You notice last time we got an error message, but now when I click preview data, I can bring back both those values. And that's how it's done. It's as simple as that. This has been a pretty common question, so I wanted to get something out on it so our users could have a guide for this. So if you guys have any other questions or ideas, let me know. I'll be more than happy to fill them out. Thanks.